Good evening. Welcome in. Hi, Alicia. Welcome in. For your question, will Aaron and I reunite? Hi, Meredith. I'm okay. How are you? Good evening. Welcome in. If you're interested in a reading, you can check out the pinned comment. No need to apologize. I'll get to both of your questions shortly. Hey, Alicia, for your question, will Aaron and I reunite? The cards that have presented for you are the Ten of Disc reverse, the Princess of Disc reverse, the Four of Cups, and the Nine of Swords. So the dynamic that I'm getting from this is not an explicit yes or no. Um, what this is indicating is that there may still need some work or reconciliation needed in order to move forward in the situation, however that physically looks, whether you guys do or do not um, reunite. It's not decided yet. The Ten of Distant Reverses indicated that the two of you actually have potential to be entirely physically satisfying for each other. But with this being in reverse, this is indicating that for whatever reason in your dynamic, the two of you aren't able to physically establish this union. So I really feel that this Ten of Disc reverse, as well as the Princess of Disc reverse, is referencing the disconnect or the disunion that the two of you are currently experiencing. But because the specific card presented, it does indicate that the two of you have potential to be fully satisfying for each other. This is just indicating that you are not at this moment. Specifically with this Princess of Discs in reverse, I'm getting the impression that the two of you aren't able to mutually come into physical agreement with each other. It's because one or both of you, more likely the more feminine partner, um, give me a moment to get a specific um, channel impression for this. The more feminine partner is having a hard time being satisfied with the physical connection. It feels that she, whether that's you, Alicia, or whether that's Aaron, um, has some conflict with how the partnership physically presents, but she's not entirely certain of what that disconnect is. Um, it could even be the fact that she has unrealistic beliefs about how the physical dynamic should be behaving. The princess of this is going to be one of the lesser mature court suits or court beings within the tarot. So she's someone who doesn't have as a mature of a perspective towards her physical reality, whether that's a material possession, whether it's an environment, another human being, or it's her life satisfaction. Because she's in the reverse, she may even have a tendency to be needy or greedy at times. She's wanting more than what she's capable of achieving for herself. So essentially, what this is indicating, the more feminine partner, whether that's Aaron or that's you, Alicia, you're wanting more out of the relationship than what they themselves or whoever this is, Alicia or Aaron, is wanting more out of the relationship than what they themselves can physically contribute into the relationship. However, with this Four of Cups in the upright, this does indicate that this dynamic, this connection between the two of you is going to be an emotionally mutually beneficial connection. The four suits are actually my partnership cards. And so with this card presenting, I would assume that Alicia and Aaron are actually divine partners or even soulmates because this card is presenting. However, with the Nine of Swords, this is indicating that the the conflict or the situation that you guys are trying to resolve isn't yet coming into resolution. But the two of you are working on towards understanding the situation, but you haven't yet come into agreement. 10 is going to be the number of completion. And so, with 9 being one short of that, it indicates that you're working towards fulfilling or resolving the situation, but you haven't yet reached it. And so, that's why I first stated that there isn't an explicit yes or no of will you guys reunite. What I think with this Princess of Discs in a reverse presenting, I really think that the more feminine counterpart within this dynamic is needing to have some growth and expansion in their maturity level. Having a realistic expectation of the relationship may be needed. So that is what I have for you, Alicia. Thank you for confirming it resonates, but I hope you were able to receive some understanding into the dynamic. Hi, good evening, pretty girl 999. If you're interested in the reading, you can check out the pinned message. It's my pleasure, Alicia. Thank you for being here. Hi, welcome in. For those interested in the reading, if you could check out the pinned comment. Thanks. I'm trying really hard. If you're still in the chat and you're interested in the reading, please let me know. Meredith, I'll go ahead and get to your question. Why Gian didn't wish me a happy birthday? Okay, Meredith, for your question, why Gian didn't wish me a happy birthday? The cards that presented for you are the Seven of Discs, and the Seven of Discs, the Four of Wands, the Queen of Discs reversed, and the Eight of Discs. Um, I'm having uncertainty with this specific card. I don't usually do this, but I would like to pull a clarifier card just to have more clarity about the dynamic that's wanting to come through. Okay. So I'm not entirely certain about you and Gion's current dynamic, Meredith, but the impression that I get is that the two of you are physically disconnected right now. So with the Seven of Discs, this is indicating that Gian simply didn't have personal intentions to reach out to you. With the Four of Wands, this is indicating that Gian feels best with the previous decision of not reaching out to you. Gian, I I don't think that Gian has physical intentions to go towards or to generally interact with you. Um, the Four of Wands is indicating that Gion's physical decisions, their physical actions and interaction is going to be um, the best pathway for them. And with this Queen of Discs in reverse, I do feel that Gian feels it's best to not physically interact with you because they feel that you, Meredith, may be someone who is physically lacking in some way. Um, the Queen of Discs reverse is a more feminine being who isn't able to receive or to attract the physical reality that they're wanting to. She could be someone who isn't very materially responsible, or she could be someone who is greedy to the point that they overextend themselves, and essentially because they overextend themselves, they overspend than what they materially have in value or in worth. She's someone who is quite lacking overall. Um, and with the Eight of Discs following this, this is indicating that Gian is decisive in wanting to maintain the physical dynamic that they had previously established. So essentially, overall, Gian simply doesn't want to have a physical connection with you, Meredith, is the impression that I get. And with the clarifier cards for this Four of Wands, that does affirm the overall impression. With the Empress in the reverse, this is very similar to the Queen of Discs. This is someone who is unable to attract or bring in the material necessities that she's needing to see or needing to experience. And this Three of Cups in reverse is indicating that Gian isn't interested in an emotional connection as well as physical. So please let me know if that did or did not resonate, Meredith, but I hope that I was able to provide you with some insight into your situation and dynamic. Pretty Girl 999 for your question. How would my ex react if he saw me dating someone new? I'll get to your question shortly, Luna. If you could just let me know, is Luna your real name or a nickname? If not, if you could include in the chat your first name or a nickname that you go by, just so I can connect to your energy closer. Alrighty, thank you. Okay, Pretty Girl 999 for your question. How would my ex react if we started dating someone new? You actually had an additional card that wanted to present for you, but the cards that have are the Chariot reverse, Seven of Swords reverse, Queen of Swords, the Hangman, and the Ten of Discs. With the Chariot in the reverse, this is indicating that your ex isn't going to physically react. They most likely will not attempt to reunite or reconnect, but they will have a different perspective of you, as indicated with the Seven of Swords in reverse. Um, Before this potential situation, or essentially what's going on now, is that your ex isn't really thinking about you or considering, but if they were to see you with someone new, they wouldn't physically react, but they would start to reconsider. Um, excuse me, their intentions or their perspective towards you, who is presenting as the Queen of Swords. They're going to start seeing you as someone decisive, someone more mature. With you presenting with someone new, they're going to think that you've matured in some way, that you have clearer focus and intentions. Essentially, you evolved into a more discerning person. And that's especially supported with this hangman. The hangman is the hangman because he chooses to hang himself upside down in order to gain new perspective. So this is indicating that he is uh, your ex is going to gain a new perspective about you. And this particular perspective is that you may actually be someone who could fulfill and satisfy what they're needing. But overall, because of this chariot in reverse, I don't think they're going to take action towards you, especially if you were to be with a new person. They would look at you differently. They would reconsider the connection, and they would essentially they would start to realize their worth more because you're presenting with someone. But this chariot in the verse is indicating that they wouldn't physically react or act upon their new perspective towards you, but they will see you in a better light. So please let me know if that did or did not resonate, but I hope I was able to um, give you an accurate answer or response to your question and provide you with some insight into the situation. So, Luna, for your question, what will happen next in my connection with Pan? Okay, Luna, for your question, what will happen next to my connection with Pan? The cards that presented were you are the Two of Cups reverse, the Princess of Wands reverse, the Universe, and the Emperor reverse. So with this Two of Cups in reverse, this is actually indicating that there there may be a sense of dissatisfaction or discontentment um, that occurs either within one partner or within both partners. Intuitively, what I'm getting, and it's not explicitly indicated, although it's potentially indicated with this Princess of Wands, that one or both of you may be in the process of growing tired with the distance. One or both of you is wanting further uh, to further or deepen the connection. But this Two of Cups reverse is explicitly indicating that one or both of you is going to be experiencing a dissatisfaction with the connection. And I say that it may have to do with the fact that the connection isn't deepening because of this Princess of Wands in the reverse. This is indicating um, a being, the more feminine counterpart within this connection is unable to pursue the connection further, is unable to physically pursue the connection further. Whether they're unable to or they're not wanting to is not explicitly stated, but the more feminine partner um, is not wanting to pursue further connection. And in fact, with this universe, this is indicating that one or both partners is actually wanting to the connection to remain the same at a distance. The universe is an expansion card, but because you've indicated that the two of you are already at a distance, this is indicating to me that this distance is going to be remaining. Now, with this Emperor in the reverse, so I stated with this Two of Cups that it may be one or both of you that may be experiencing discontentment. I do feel that it's possibly both of you with this Emperor in the reverse presenting. This is going to indicate that the more masculine counterpart isn't able to have the physical satisfaction that he's wanting to receive. Whether that's you or that's going to be Pan, but the more masculine counterpart isn't physically satisfied with the connection and is not seeing the physical results they're wanting to see. So you're indicating that you're the one not wanting to bring in the partnership. The Emperor reverse is indicating that Pan is going to be experiencing some dissatisfaction with it. So ultimately, both of you will be happy in the relationship because this isn't explicitly stating, but because of the dynamic, the fact that the two of you aren't satisfied and you're going to be maintaining this distance, I do feel that on a deeper level, the two of you do want to deepen and pursue a further connection, but you're not physically ready to bring that in, and Pan is starting to have some dissatisfaction with the physical connection as it remains. So please let me know if that did or did not resonate, pretty girl or Luna. But I hope I was able to provide some clarity into your situation. Hi, Fabi. Welcome in. Thank you, Luna. So Fabi, you're asking if you and Soti are going to see each other this summer. Okay, Fabi, for your question, are are me and Soti going to see each other this summer? The cards that are presented for you are the Eight of Cups, the Seven of Swords reversed, the Eight of Discs, and the Ten of Swords. The overall impression that I'm getting from this is going to be a no. With this Eight of Cups, this is indicating that whatever the current emotional state of the two of you guys are currently in, it's going to continue the same. However, with the Seven of Swords in reverse, this is indicating that the two of you will be receiving new understanding about each other, or receiving clarity in regards to the connection. This Eight of Discs, very similar to the Eight of Cups, is indicating that the physical interaction of the connection as it currently is will also be persisting. However, with this Ten of Swords, this is indicating that it's possible that this new understanding or clarity that you're receiving with the Seven of Swords in the reverse may actually lead to some conflict, or to some kind of mental disagreement, or not necessarily a disconnect, but it feels that there's going to be some kind of situation that presents. So overall, what I'm getting is that there may actually be an argument or some kind of conflict that arises. The two of you aren't going to start to emotionally disconnect. The two of you still will remain in contact, but most likely, whatever this argument or situation that comes up, it's going to cause the connection to remain physically as is. And so, because of that, the ultimate answer I'm getting with that is no. The two of you, excuse me, the two of you may not see each other over the summer. So please let me know if that did or did not resonate, but I hope that was able to provide some insight into your situation.